Paleontology bingo. Let's get to it.
Check it out.
Like and subscribe now, or you're gonna have bad luck this week.
Many of us get to know dinosaurs from a very early age as children,
Seriously, this video couldn't have started off any more great.
and are often interested in these gigantic, vicious beasts. The T-Rex, Velociraptor, and Spinosaurus are the best known of the list, but there are others that will surprise you.
I'm surprised this sauropod is having the ability to literally not snap its neck while flailing around it like it's no tomorrow.
For their lethality. Let's have a look at the 10 most dangerous dinosaurs in the world. Number 10, Gigantosaurus.
Okay, so first off, it's pronounced Giganotosaurus, Giganotosaurus, but not Gigantosaurus. Second, why are you showing this is not Giganotosaurus in the slightest?
First, we have the Gigantosaurus, one of the largest meat-eating dinosaurs to ever live. It roamed modern-day Argentina during the late Cretaceous period, about 99.6 to 97 million years ago. For a long time, Tyrannosaurus rex, also known as the king of the dinosaurs, was thought to be the largest carnivorous dinosaur.
Already, this video is all over the place with these statements and footages, as you can see, Jurassic World, and, yeah. Still comparing stuff to T-Rex, as always.
Today, Gigantosaurus is believed to have been slightly larger than T-Rex.
I mean, this dude clearly uses a creature's length instead of mass to, to measure a creature's size.
Though, even Gigantosaurus ranks behind Spinosaurus in size among the meat-eating dinosaurs.
I'm counting the dude's mispronunciations right now, and, it's Gigantosaurus times 4.
First described in a 1995 study in the journal Nature.
You're now just showing Torvosaurus instead of Giganotosaurus. Torvosaurus is also a completely different creature.
Gigantosaurus was at the time thought to be the largest carnivorous dinosaur. Researchers estimated that this specimen analyzed was up to 41 feet long, from head to tail, and weighed between 6.6 and 8.8 tons. Not only large, but quite fast as well. Models suggest that Gigantosaurus.
Okay, so you're talking about the Giga, yet you showed Rex, of course you showed Torvosaurus, and now you're showing Carnotaurus attacking Spinosaurus when talking about Giganotosaurus.
Could run up to 31.3 miles per hour, according to a 2001 article in the journal Acta Paleontologica Palencia. Any faster, and the animal would lose its stability and fall over, rather like me when I decide to run.
This is giving me a bunch of flashbacks to that bright side video where the Giganotosaurus just topples over and then, not topples over, it falls over and then it just walks like a kangaroo. Have a look for yourself.
Eater feeding on everything it found on its way.
Number 9. Titanoceratops. This is another massive dinosaur that existed during the late Cretaceous period and is one of the biggest horned dinosaurs that ever lived. The titanic horn-faced beast weighed approximately 15,000 pounds and measured roughly 22.3 feet from head to tail.
I don't know if it's just personal preference, but I would like that this guy just pauses for a little bit and instead just keeps on going for whatever reason.
There are insinuations that its massive 8-foot head probably makes it the land animal with the longest and most extended skull that ever lived. Titanoceratops lived in the American Southwest about 74 million years ago and were distinguishable by their thin frill, pointed nose, and big horns. Despite being non-aggressive or carnivorous creatures.
Aggressive. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch considering that rhinos and elephants, as you can see,
fully developed Titanoceratops didn't have to worry so much about the attacks.
Unfortunately, this does not look like a Titanoceratops in the slightest, as you can see.
Because of their threatening skull size, large predators from that time preyed on young Titanoceratops.
And we have another creature that does not look like a Titanoceratops in the slightest, as you can see.
Studies have shown that these giant creatures inhabited North American regions and reproduced by laying eggs. It wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that prehistoric Homo sapiens would surely have stolen a few of those massive eggs to make omelets.
Okay. Yeah, this statement is just 100% ludicrous, 100% insane. Where did you get that statement from? You just pulled it out of your ding-dong.
Number 8. The Spinosaurus.
Of course, it's an outdated Spino model, as you can see.
Up next on this list, we have an extraordinary dinosaur. The Spinosaurus was the biggest of all the carnivorous dinosaurs known to man.
Okay, so this is stupidly outdated statement, and using Spinosaurus model. Jurassic World evolution.
Larger than the Tyrannosaurus and Gigantosaurus.
The Gigantosaurus has been pronounced like this 7 times now in this video.
It lived during part of the Cretaceous period, about 112 million to 97 million years ago.
It lived around 100 to 94 million years ago with possible Albian records. And Albian, alright. So theoretically, it could live 112 million years ago, but so far it's not confirmed.
Roaming the swamps of North Africa, Spinosaurus means spined lizard, an appropriate descriptor, as the dinosaur had very long spines growing on its back.
Very long spines growing at its back. Okay. Did Spinosaurus grow up like that?
To form what is referred to as its sail. The distinctive spines, which grew out of the animal's back vertebrae, were up to 2.1 meters long. Spinosaurus already had a very distinctive look, even among dinosaurs, but its most surprising feature was that it was the very first dinosaur that was able to swim and likely spent most of its life in the water.
But then there are creatures like Lurdusaurus and also Baryonyx.
Many scientists believe that snails are relatives of the Spinosaurus.
Okay. Just stupid statement over here. Snails are relatives to Spinosaurus. The only thing they have in common is that they are animals. That's it. Snails are invertebrates. Spinosaurus is a vertebrate.
Imagine going from one of the biggest animals to one of the smallest in the world. Such a downfall, right? What do you guys think?
Words cannot express how stupid this statement is. Oh my goodness, why is this even a thing?
Number 7. Troodon.
Does not exist? Alright then.
Deadliness doesn't always come down to bulk and bite force. Our next entry in the list was only a mere 1.3 meters or 4.3 feet tall and only weighed 40 kilograms or 88 pounds. And yet, while only being rather small, it made up with what it lacked in brute power with a whole lot of brain.
So it's another one of those Troodon is super smart statements that is just, I don't know what to say at this point.
It has the highest brain to body weight ratio of any known dinosaurs, meaning it has the biggest brain of any dinosaur we have discovered.
Actually had the biggest brain. The brain would probably explode before it would do anything.
Not only was it very intelligent, but it also had orb-shaped eyes that gave it superior vision and were able to see in low-light conditions, which made it able to hunt during the night. It used to hunt in packs, and with its rather small stature, it was quite fast. It might not have been as big as some of the beasts on our list, but hunting together with its family.
See any evidence of the quote-unquote Troodon being able to display pack hunting behavior.
This agile dinosaur could have easily hunted much larger prey.
This is definitely a clip from a game, as you can see. These creatures just bugging out, as you can see their body parts.
And would have been able to triumph even with all the odds stacked against it. Number 6. Majungasaurus. Majungasaurus ruled the lands in present-day Madagascar from 70 to 60 million years ago.
It lived 70 to 66 million years ago. If it lived 60 million years ago, it would have survived the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, which it did not.
Here, it rained terror not just to other animals, but also to its own kind as well.
Oh, so it's another one of those Majungasaurus cannibalism stuff. I mean, you're not wrong.
Several fossils of Majungasaurus have been found with bites that align with this dinosaur's teeth patterns, which means these beasts occasionally turned on their own kind for food. In conclusion, Majungasaurus is among the few cannibalistic dinosaurs to ever exist, but whether they actively hunted each other isn't yet clear. For all we know, they could have just fed on each other's carcasses.
I mean, it technically still counts as cannibalism because, you know, it's eating their own kind. So it's cannibalism.
But for regular meals, these dinosaurs fed on sauropods that occupied the same ecological system.
Thing is, sauropods are fairly dangerous to hunt because, well, anytime they could crush you. Although, in the Majungasaurus environment, sauropods aren't exactly the strongest. More than likely, it would have hunted juvenile sauropods in its environment.
Also, the Majungasaurus occupied the top position in the food chain, as it had no predators, although it wasn't among the largest inhabitants of Madagascar during that period. On average, it had a
Carnotaurus. As opposed to Majungasaurus, Carnotaurus actually had long legs, but Majungasaurus had short legs.
To tail length of between 6 to 7 meters and could weigh as much as a ton. A unique feature among these predators was its stout snout that could have played an important role in their hunting escapades. It enabled them to bite and hold down prey, a tactic similar to today's big cats. Number 5. Velociraptor.
This Velociraptor is less feathery than it should be. At least it's not a completely scaly Velociraptor that you see in Jurassic Park / Jurassic World. That would have been much worse.
This is one dinosaur you're definitely familiar with if you've watched Jurassic Park, but unfortunately some facts about this prehistoric carnivore aren't accurate. For instance, it wasn't as fast as it was portrayed. Yes, their name translates to Swift Caesar, but let's just say they were a bit slower in Mongolia and China, where they lived about 75 to 71 million years ago.
Back-to-back Jurassic Park / Jurassic World footages. As you can see over here, okay.
It was also much smaller in real life than it was in the movie.
And this clip doesn't show, as it's just 4 baby raptors from Jurassic World. And baby raptors just do not represent actual raptor size.
On average, a Velociraptor weighed a mere 15 kilograms and was about 2 meters long. So, why is it dangerous? For one, it was pretty fast. Not as fast as portrayed in Jurassic Park, but it could still ramp up impressive speeds to catch prey. Also, while it isn't conclusive yet, Velociraptors were thought to hunt in packs.
Which is, there's no evidence of it. I can't really count that as ridiculous, as it has been said like a quadrillion times before, and there's still no evidence.
Which gave them an advantage over the size of prey they could catch, but perhaps the proof of these dinosaurs' ferocity was their signature giant hook-like claw on the hind feet.
Unfortunately, they were not sharp enough to disembowel their prey. They more likely used those claws to either 1, climb trees as smaller ones, and 2, use raptor prey restraint on their prey.
This was basically their tool of trade when they were out there hunting. They attacked and tightly gripped their prey with the massive talon before devouring it. Number 4. Mapusaurus. This giant dinosaur wasn't only scary because of its size, it was also a daring hunter that was after some of the equally largest dinosaurs of the time.
Actually, the largest dinosaurs at the time, Argentinosaurus. And Argentinosaurus, Mapusaurus don't really kill Argentinosaurus. They just rip flesh off Argentinosaurus.
Like the Argentinosaurus, that averaged lengths of up to 35 meters and could weigh up to a staggering 100 tons.
This is Planet Dinosaur Carcharodontosaurus. The thing that bothers me the most is that Planet Dinosaur also has Mapusaurus, so why not use Mapusaurus footages instead of Carcharodontosaurus shown here?
Mapusaurus, on its part, had lengths between 10 to 13 meters and an average mass of 3 tons.
3 tons just makes the Mapusaurus anorexic. Mapusaurus had a mass of around 7 to 8 tons. Then you're showing Giganotosaurus.
So, how then did it manage to take large prey several times its size? Fossil remains shed some light on this. After a close analysis of a heap of bones belonging to these hunters, paleontologists discovered that the bones were of 7 different Mapusauruses, and that pointed to a possible social existence among these massive carnivorous dinosaurs.
It's a possibility that Mapusaurus hunted in loose gangs instead of packs. Planet Dinosaur depicted that really well. Instead of organized packs, it's a bunch of gangs. Loose gangs where these guys attack at the same time while they just don't coordinate.
So they most probably hunted in packs and thus were able to go after large and more formidable prey. But that pack certainly wouldn't have done much with the right tools of the trade. Mapusaurus had narrow blade-like teeth on this front that could slice through flesh with considerable ease. Number 3. Sauroposeidon.
You know, that's a really weird way of pronouncing Sauroposeidon, but whatever. whatever.
Our next contender is the Sauroposeidon, meaning the lizard of Poseidon, or earthquake lizard. Now that's a creepy name. Sauroposeidon is expressed as a supersized dinosaur.
Now, to this video's credit, they are actually just making it every 10 to 3 right now. The top 10 to 3 creatures over here, all dinosaurs. And the title is dinosaurs, so they're not exactly 100% clickbaiting.
It was described from the neckbone fossils discovered in Oklahoma. Sauroposeidon is estimated to be between 20 meters long and weigh up to 60 tons.
It's quite chunky, especially given that actual Sauroposeidon was around 27.8 meters long and had a mass of around 47 to 48 tons, according to the specimen OMNH 53062.
It lived 125 million years ago. Sauroposeidon is one of the last gigantic sauropods recognized from the Cretaceous period.
I really hate that scene, because how is the sauropod not even breaking its neck once? How is the sauropod not even harming itself when it just flails its neck around like it's no tomorrow?
In North America, Sauroposeidon is named after the Greek god called Poseidon. I'm sure we all know that Poseidon is described as a deity of the sea and one that secured a domain over earthquakes. Sauroposeidon was so gigantic that it revered the thought of shaking the ground the way an earthquake would.
If it actually did, then imagine the amount of shaking the Mapusaurus had to endure thanks to Argentinosaurus, a constant amount of Argentinosaurus just stomping everywhere. They'll probably be far away or whatever.
However, it would walk. That's where the connection comes from. Number 2, Tungarripterus.
1, Tungarripterus is not a dinosaur. 2, you forgot to change Sauroposeidon over here, that text to Tungarripterus. Also, I probably shouldn't keep track of mispronunciations here because, like, there is not as many, of course. There's nowhere near as many as whatever the other video was with scary tourists.
Let's shift our attention down to Central Asia, where the beast once resided. Majungasaurus
I regret not keeping track because this Tungarripterus pronunciation is just killing me right now.
is a famous name related to archaeological fossils retrieved.
This is the Tungarripterus from Jurassic World, the game with a bunch of crazy patterns, by the way.
Belonging to this kind of dinosaur. Back in the day before the establishment of present-day China, a huge reptile lingered over the then natural setting. Worms and small insects were its main source of food, but its huge mouth and teeth that could tear apart whatever meal they came across. Even though this breed of dinosaur wasn't the predator kind, its devastating appearance was enough to scare the wits out of you.
From what I've seen here, these do not look like Tungarripterus at all. Because, as you can see, these guys, they do not look like Tungarripterus in the slightest, thanks to those heads that do not look like Tungarripterus.
This creepy winged reptile didn't have a pleasant appearance, and its curved beak made it even more devastating to look at. Picture a world where flying dinosaur is normal, just like we see birds roaming the skies. Feel weird, right? Another species with such a wanting appearance is the Velociraptor.
It's called Velociraptor, not whatever you pronounced. Okay. Man, what is this? I don't know.
Which closely resembled a huge cock.
Huge what?
It had a massive beak and an enormous cranial crust, whose purpose has remained a mystery to date. Number 1. Utahraptor.
There aren't many herbivores in this list, and also there is no T-Rex, which is literally the most dangerous predator to have ever lived. More specifically, the most dangerous land predator to have ever lived.
Just like its name, it was discovered in Utah, though not the only raptor in Utah. It actually came very close to being named the dinosaur of Utah. The North American dinosaur lived in the early Cretaceous period.
Oh no, not Jurassic Fight Club footage once again. Why use Jurassic Fight Club out of all of them, bruh?
Utahraptor weighed an astronomical 15,000 pounds.
15,000 pounds. do not know how astronomically gigantic 15,000 pounds is, especially for a Utahraptor.
And was over 20 feet long. Utahraptor was a profoundly built, bipedal, and ground-dwelling carnivorous predator. Ultraraptor's gigantic, curving hind claws were used to slash and gut its prey.
First off, the Utahraptor, that nickname, the Utahraptor, is a bit weird. Second, Utahraptor, Utahraptor's, foot claws. Yeah. Utahraptor's foot claws, sickles, they're still not sharp enough to disembowel prey.
And they measured almost a foot long. That's awesome. For the dino maniacs out there, you have to go check out The Raptor Red in case you haven't. It's an incredible book written by the iconic fossil hunter Robert Baker that gives the truest descriptions of the dynamic Utahraptor and her family surviving in an unrelenting prehistoric wilderness. It's worth a read. Would you want to see any of these dinosaurs alive today? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
Man, why is this video just really bad? This is one of the worst ones I've ever seen. I've seen in paleontology. It's not worst, but like is one of the not so good ones. Yeah, what I mean not so good, it's really bad. Anyway, to the results we go. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all in the next one.